Hello, and welcome to The Reactor. Alright, I was trying to find a way to rate the Opeth albums as I liked the most, and I couldn't. I just couldn't, because every album has their own unique awesomeness, and they'd all be a tie, to be honest. There wasn't an album that I didn't really like. There were maybe just a few songs that were not as in great scale as some of the others, but whatever, right? So I figured I'd do what makes this album the balls. And so we'll start with Orchid. It's the first one. We'll just go in order, and I'll try to pump one of these out a week or so. It's a little more complicated to do with video editing and such, but I think it's a great option as opposed to what I think the best album is, and my second favorite album or my third favorite album. I just can't. I just couldn't do it, because I think it would change week to week, you know, as I listen to them more often. It seems like, well, I'm in the mood for this album. I think this one's the best one. And the next week I'm in a different mood, and I'm like, okay, well, I think this one's the best album. So it changes all the time. So, yeah, so we'll just start with this. What makes this album the balls? And this was the first tune, you know, with In the Midst She Was Standing. Now, this has like some really melodic Sabbath sound, really ghostly vocals, and you can tell there's a bit of like Iron Maiden influence in here with something like this tone. And also, you know, the way that these dark acoustics just give you that weird sense of something spooky as hell, right? And then it slams back to another riff like this. Those dark acoustics again just ride off, and then they transform it into this radiant, spacey ambience. It's just such a great flow, and then it goes into this kick-ass bass sound. Check this out. And then you know, the chaos of the riffs and the hooks and everything. You go into this, you know, mad death growl, and then it just goes off into this melancholy acoustic rhythm. It's really fantastic. And then the next tune, Under the Weeping Moon. It's this one, the intro, where Peter and Michael kind of share acoustics. They're just kind of like playing off each other, which is fantastic. And then it leads into this nice dark riff. It's really cool. And then, a little bit further in, you get these harsh vocals, but then melt into this really creepy acoustic sound with a lead guitar just sounding like, sounding like death is looming. It just has this really dark atmosphere to it. Then, towards the end of this song, the vocals, they just sound like they're in this open castle, this old, dungy open castle. It just has that great reverb to his voice, and it just fades then into the next tune, which is Silhouette. This song, kudos to the drummer, Anders Norden. It's too bad that he kind of disappeared after the second album. Amazing drummer, really jazzy style, and just also too can play the chops like this with these amazing scales, but remaining kind of dark and uneasy. Check this one out. Just brilliant. And then you have Forest of October. This one, I thought, at this particular section, these nice dark clean vocals, they were paired with other vocals, leading into this nice heavy chuggy riff. And halfway through this song, you got this badass guitar solo leading out to this like singular tone, not like scales or anything or chords. It's just a nice melodic tone. And then it goes into this mix of heavy chugs and acoustics, which is really different. Then it leads off into this realm of The Twilight is My Robe. Now this song, it's a chuggy riff. You know, it leads to a nice just double bass madness. This is an awesome intro. And this particular part of the song that I really enjoyed, the acoustics kind of end off into this really awesome bass sound. Reminds me a lot of Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. It's just got that kind of sound to it, you know, and it just, you just got to check it out. Now this other part of the song, it's just breaking out of into the chaos, and then back to this jazzy sound, leading to the ending solo. So that's awesome. Then you have Requiem. It's just a gorgeous instrumental. You know, I think it just shows the skills of both guitarists there. You know, just showing off. It's a nice little piece, and then leads you right into the next the ending tune, which is The Apostle in Triumph. Midway through this tune, you have these like dark notes, but they're not in the lower end. They're in the high frequency range, the higher notes, dark high notes with these harsh vocals and a crazy double bass, like here. The effects here I thought were really interesting, with a really super tight bass and drum connection. It's just so perfectly timed and so clean. It just sounds amazing. The ending of the song, you know, it ended the way it started, with these beautiful melancholy tones and acoustics right here. I got to say that Anders Norden really shined in this album. Awesome, awesome intro to a great drummer and pianist as well. Just an amazing, just jazzy style, great sound too. And then Johan de Farfalla, he's the bass player. Just a beautiful sounding bass, and I don't know in some parts if it's a fretless bass or not. I think that's more in the next album that he really utilizes the fretless bass. This one I'm not sure. But Peter Lindgren and Michael have a great relationship in this album, and I think it's really shows off their skills in a way that you just can't get in any other band. They just feed off of each other, and they just keep these amazing chords and strings together. It's just a beautiful ride with them two. Dan Swano was the engineer, and I think as far as engineering goes in an early day beginner band, couldn't have asked for anything better. I think as time went on, of course, they got better and better and better and better. But for a beginner album, and not knowing who these guys are, just to start, he says, okay, let's get this engineered. And I gotta say, the sound quality and the space, it's all there. It's all you need for a great killer album. So for their debut album, it's a gem of an album, and got some awesome stories out of this visually. When you listen to the whole album, it just takes you on a beautiful journey, as with all the albums. So that's why I think this album is the balls. And we'll go on to the next album, and I'll explain what I liked about the next one, and we'll go from there. So keep tuned, and we'll keep on cranking. Cheerio.